He watched her grow up before the world ever knew her name, before the stadiums, before the 14 Grammys, before Taylor Swift became a brand recognized on every continent. She was just a teenage girl walking into a criminal justice classroom in Nashville, trying to find her place. And the man standing at the front of that room was Kirk Schwabe, a former Chicago police officer who traded the streets for a classroom. He didn't know it yet, but he was about to become one of the most important people in her life. For 2 years, from 2004 to 2006, he taught her not just lessons from a textbook. He taught her about trust, about judgment, about the kind of person you become when the pressure gets real. And somewhere in those 2 years, something happened that neither of them expected. She didn't just see him as a teacher. She saw him as someone who believed in her before there was any reason to. By 2009, her career was exploding. And when it did, she didn't call a security firm. She called her teacher. Kirk left the classroom behind and stepped into a world he never trained for. Arenas, screaming crowds, the terrifying unpredictability of protecting the most famous young woman on the planet. He later admitted it scared him. He said he didn't always know who he was working alongside, whether every guard hired around him could be trusted. But he stayed, because it wasn't a job to him anymore. It was her. Years passed. She became untouchable, a global icon. But she never forgot him. When she appeared in Valentine's Day in 2010, she made sure a character shared his name. Mr. Schwabe, a quiet tribute, hidden in plain sight, for the man who helped raise the girl before the world claimed the woman. Then came this year. Taylor was about to marry Travis Kelce. A wedding at Madison Square Garden. Dior, Cartier, Adam Sandler standing at the altar as the officiant. Everything a fairy tale is supposed to look like. But while the invitations went out and the dress was being fitted, Kirk Schwabe was fighting a battle no camera would ever capture. Metastatic kidney cancer. Quietly, privately, his daughter posted online that his health was declining fast, that he'd been moved into hospice care. And even then, even in his final days, the only thing on his mind wasn't his own pain. It was her happiness. He told a reporter, just one day before the wedding, that he trusted her judgment completely, that he believed she'd found the right man. His exact words were that he trusted her to know what's best. And then, on July 3rd, the very same day Taylor Swift became Mrs. Kelce, Kirk Schwabe passed away, surrounded by family. At 69 years old, somewhere in New York, there was music, laughter, dancing, cake, vows exchanged in front of people who loved her. And somewhere else, a family was saying goodbye to a man who had spent almost 2 decades quietly protecting that same joy from the shadows. His wife said something after his passing that stayed with everyone who read it. She said he made people feel seen, valued, protected. Whether you were his daughter, his student, or a girl who once sat in the back of his classroom and became the biggest star on earth, he cared. That was who he was. Taylor Swift got her fairy tale wedding on July 3rd. But that same date will always carry two truths now: the beginning of one chapter and the quiet closing of another. A teacher who never sought the spotlight, who protected a superstar without ever asking for credit, who believed in her long before anyone else did. Some people don't need fame to leave a legacy. They just need to show up every single day for the person who needed them. Kirk Schwabe did that for nearly 20 years. And even in his last breath, all he wanted was for her to be happy. That's the story behind the headlines. If it moved you even a little, that's exactly why it needed to be told.